What if everything you've been taught about debt is backwards? From the time we're young, we're told to stay away from debt at all costs. Parents warn us about credit cards. Teachers talk about the dangers of loans. Financial gurus often repeat the same message: debt is bad. But here's a question that almost nobody asks. If debt is so terrible, why do some of the wealthiest people in America use it every single day? Think about it for a moment. The average person sees debt as a trap. The wealthy often see debt as a tool. The average person borrows money to buy things that lose value. The wealthy frequently borrow money to acquire assets that generate income. That single difference changes everything. And if you don't understand that difference, you may never fully understand how wealth is created. Imagine two people. The first person saves for years to buy a car. The second person uses financing to purchase a small business asset that produces cash flow every month. Both people have debt obligations at some point, but only one is using borrowed money to create more money. This is where the conversation about debt becomes interesting. Debt itself is not good or bad. It is simply a financial tool. What matters is how that tool is used. One of the biggest misconceptions in personal finance is that wealthy people become rich by avoiding debt. In reality, many successful investors, entrepreneurs, and real estate owners use debt strategically. They understand something that most people never learn. If an asset can produce a higher return than the cost of borrowing, debt can become a powerful wealth-building mechanism. This doesn't mean taking reckless risks or borrowing beyond your means. It means understanding the mathematics behind leverage. Consider real estate. A person who wants to buy a rental property worth $500,000 usually doesn't pay cash. Instead, they may use a mortgage. By putting down a portion of the purchase price and borrowing the rest, they gain control of an asset much larger than the cash they invested. If the property generates rental income and appreciates over time, the investor benefits from the growth of the entire asset, not just the amount they initially contributed. This concept, known as leverage, is one of the foundations of modern wealth creation. The same principle exists throughout the financial world. Businesses borrow money to expand operations. Corporations issue bonds to raise capital. Investors use credit facilities to acquire opportunities. Even governments rely on debt markets to fund major projects. Debt is woven into the fabric of the modern economy. The question is not whether debt exists. The question is whether you understand how it works. Unfortunately, many people experience only the dangerous side of debt. They accumulate high-interest credit card balances. They finance luxury purchases they cannot afford. They use loans to support lifestyles rather than build assets. This type of debt often creates financial stress because the borrowed money is used for consumption instead of production. The asset disappears, but the payment remains. That's why understanding the distinction between productive debt and destructive debt is so important. Productive debt helps generate future income, increase asset ownership, or create long-term financial value. Destructive debt consumes future earnings without producing meaningful returns. Wealthy individuals spend significant time analyzing this difference before making financial decisions. They ask whether a purchase will put money into their pockets or take money out of them. That mindset alone can transform the way someone thinks about money.